Hey, how's it going everyone? It's me, It's Count here with a brand new Pokemon Go discussion video, and today I wanted to talk about Bulbasaur Community Day Classic. Yes, in fact, this is going to be a second Community Day in the month of January, because of course we already have Spiel Community Day happening just a week prior to this one, so that means Niantic is trying out something new here, and I'm a big fan of it. I actually think this has a lot of great implications for the future of Pokemon Go, and I do think the community response to this has been very positive, and it's for a lot of good reasons. And I'm going to be talking about all of that in today's video, so let's roll the intro and jump right into it. Alrighty, so Bulbasaur Community Day Classic. This is basically going to be a mini community day of sorts. It's going to run exactly like your typical community day, only it's going to be featuring Bulbasaur, which is a previous community day Pokemon that we had several years ago. And of course, it's going to be exactly the same like that old community day. Any Bulbasaur that you evolve into Venusaur during this particular time is going to know the exclusive move Frenzy Plant. And of course, for anyone who is a battler, they would know that a Frenzy Plant Venusaur is extremely valuable when it comes to the Ultra and Master League, so this is definitely one small event that you do not want to miss out on. Now, this event is going to be happening on Saturday, January 22nd, 2022, and it's going to be happening from 2 p.m. local time until 5 p.m. local time. Now, this is the first change that you should notice when it comes to this particular community day compared to other ones. It's only going to be going for half the amount of time, and I know some players may not necessarily like that, but considering that this is technically a repeat community day, it's one that we've already had, I don't think players are necessarily clamoring for this to run the full duration. I know there's some players out there who would have liked for it to be the 6 hours, considering that it does give a little bit more flexibility for those who want to participate, but in general, I do like the fact that this is not a full-on community day, and it's more like a bonus event in the month of January. Now, moving forward, I would actually like for Niantic to do this every month, or at least bi-monthly. I do like the idea of revisiting past community days, especially those that have a lot of relevance even today, and I really do like the idea of Niantic giving us more weekend activities. Now, I do like that Niantic is not impeding on the already announced community day with this. They're not having a new Pokemon being featured or anything like that. It's a legacy Pokemon. It's Bulbasaur. It's a community day that we had several years ago, and I know that there's a lot of new players that have joined Pokemon Go since then that they missed out on the original community day and they wish they would have participated back then. And that is of course because Venusaur with Frenzy Plant is just so powerful in PvP, and they would love to save their Elite Charge TMs in order to have this particular Pokemon with this particular move. This also gives a lot of shiny hunters a second opportunity to get more of this particular shiny, and that is a pretty good thing. Past community day shinies are usually really special considering just how powerful those Pokemon tend to be, and in general, they just look really cool. I'm not necessarily saying that recent community day Pokemon haven't had really cool looking shinies, but I know a lot of the fan favorite shinies are in the past, and it'd be really nice for the community to revisit those every so often. So I do like this. I really do think that Niantic is onto something really good here, and I do believe this is a bit of a test. They're just going to see how the community responds to this, and overall whether or not players will be interested in it, and I do think that for them to try this out, Bulbasaur was the perfect fit to do so. Now, Venusaur with Frenzy Plant is not the only community day that I would like to revisit. There is of course Larvitar and Dratini. I do think that both Dragonite and Tyranitar with their community day moves have made huge impacts in Pokemon Go, and it'd be really nice if we could go back and try and get those once again. The first time we had Dratini Community Day, I was actually out of town, so I was not able to grind it out as as hard as I usually would with community days, and it's a community day that I would love to see happen again. And hopefully in the future they will have a Dratini community day. We'll just have to wait and see. But in general, I'm just really excited at the fact that I have more opportunities to get Shundos this year if they continue to do these community day classics. Now, I totally recognize that this could potentially be just a one-off, considering that it is actually falling in line with the themes of the Season of Heritage, and once the Season of Heritage ends, that they will not do any community day classics. But I really hope this isn't the case, or if anything, this event ends up becoming really popular so Niantic does it again, because I would love to see past community days get revisited through events like these. Of course, this is not necessarily going to be universally popular, considering that we did have these community days in the past, and of course there are a couple of community days in the past that weren't as popular as others. Like, I don't necessarily know if people are interested in having a repeat of Roselia community day, for example. Like, aside from these, I still think this is a good idea, and for them to go back to past community days like this is something that could be only very positive for Pokemon Go. Considering that they are old community days, they are not necessarily going to be a required gameplay event in Pokemon Go, and I know that's something that a lot of players have been voicing their concerns about, considering that there's just been a lot of different things in Pokemon Go recently, and they've required players to play extra hard in order to utilize every single aspect of those events. And it can be very overwhelming for a lot of different players, and it may just drain them and burn them out. I don't necessarily think something like this will actually do that. It's more of a side activity every month, and it's something that could drive more weekly engagement. I just really like this idea, and I really do hope Niantic continues doing it in the future. Now, community days are not the only thing that I really want Niantic to revisit. There is, of course, those limited time research days, and I really do miss those. I actually thought they were really cool for Pokemon Go. It was kind of like a community day, but it was a little bit more alternative, and I really did like them. It was a fun way to pick up shinies, and I really thought Niantic was onto something good here, but they've kind of neglected those for a long time now. Occasionally they will bring them back, but I really think because of the pandemic, they've just kind of shied away from this particular event. But I really do think that Niantic could bring it back and just tweak it so that more players can be involved and just more players be able to enjoy it. Sure, when they were around, there were a lot of complaints with them, considering that players who had a mass of Pokestops near them were able to do more compared to, let's say, rural players, but they did have research that you could do from home, and I really did like that idea. I really wish they kind of built more upon it, and they could have just kind of combined the two, if anything, like to make the gameplay feel a little bit more streamlined. I really don't know, but yeah, I am really hoping that they do bring that back in 2022, and it's something that they do consistently every month. In my ideal world, I would like to see them have a community day, a limited research day, as well as a community day classic every single month. And of course, all of these events can be overwhelming to the average player, but maybe just the community day is something where they introduce a new shiny, and for the limited research day and the community day classic, they only go back to old shinies so that it doesn't feel like a requirement to play. If they can find that right balance of keeping the gameplay optional but exciting, I do think that it could be very good for Pokemon Go moving forward. But in any case, yeah, these are just my thoughts regarding the Bulbasaur Community Day Classic. Again, it's going to be a 3-hour version of a regular community day. It's going to be happening a week after the Spheal Community Day, and it's going to be pretty exciting, especially for players who missed out on the Community Day last time. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely share your thoughts regarding this down below. Let's have a great discussion. And if you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you stay notified on whenever I upload videos. And I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.